and I'd just like to give a quick intro to Moira. We've been working with Moira since last year. She's done the last few Tree of Life festivals, and I would say she's one of the most transformational speakers that we've had at the Tree of Life. So many people have shifted in their lives and transformed their personal lives, their work lives, their health, everything in the most profound ways with Moira's work. And so it's an absolute honour and privilege to welcome her to the Tree of Life Festival.
Thanks, Tim. At a very young age, I knew how to help other people, and it was to help them survive. And it was to help the spirit of entrepreneurship and creativity to begin to come into their lives. Then I had a near-death experience. Has anybody here had one? Cool, I'm not alone today. I had an undiagnosed brain virus, and I died, and I left my body. And as I floated up into my bedroom, my son had raced up the road to get a doctor in to come and administer whatever could be done for my, now inert body. So I lost my fear of death, because I understood at that moment in time we are just energy, and our consciousness exists beyond what we term our physicality, our physical body. I then, because of that experience, something in me woke up and said, you need to explore your life in a different way. But it was a very difficult decision for me, because I was making a difference in the community. I was winning. I was up for a spiritual, not a spiritual, just an entrepreneurial award in South Africa. I was into the semi-finals of this competition. So leaving all of that behind and coming to a country and starting all over again was a very difficult choice. And I resisted. Who here does resistance? I said, no, I'm famous, I'm well known, I'm well respected, I am making a difference. God, I know what I'm doing, you back off, this is my work. So God took it all away. Every single thing I held on to. Didn't win the competition, the Entrepreneur of the Year, although I was geared for it. Didn't win it. Lost my house, lost my standing in the community. Everything was wiped out. The only avenue open to me was a man that I'd met, and he lost his business at the same time and said, I think we must go to England. So we did, with a suitcase. I landed in this country 13 years ago with a suitcase of some clothes. That was it. And I had to start again. Walked straight smack bang into a lady called Melissa Jolly, who ran a color therapy business called Color Mirrors. And I started studying with her. 13 years later, I have helped her set up and supported her with Color Mirrors and set up distribution centers of support and training, different locations around the world. Little me from little Africa, who was working in the community, is suddenly working with a much more global community. I have a philosophy, and it says very simply, always say yes. And great. Do you see I've got some students here today? And has your lives changed since you've done this? Yes. It is that simple. When you are asked something, what is our first natural response? No. Why? Why do we say no? Fear? Resistance? Think about it. Why do you say no?
Unsure.
Unsure?
Lack of self-belief.
Lack of self-belief, yes.
Too much going on already.
Overwhelmed. That's a brilliant one. Too much going on already. That was one of my big ones. I'm so busy, God, really? I mean, seriously, more? No, really? Okay. Say yes and turn up and your life will change. That is the energy of an entrepreneur. What we are trying to evoke amongst the whole New Age movement, if I can call it that, is a sense of entrepreneurship. But even in your own lives, whether you're involved in spirituality actively or not, getting the energy of an entrepreneur going in your life will change your life for you. So where in your life do you become stuck? That you either blame somebody else for being there, find as an excuse to beat yourself up and stay stuck. Who does that? All of us. We all do it. What the spirit of an entrepreneur does, and especially one that has that spiritual connection and that faith and trust, is we find a solution. We see it as a challenge, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to expand our lives. That's the nature of an entrepreneur. We will find the solution. I want you to take a step back and just go, I am God in a body. The minute you claim I am God in a body, you've got your power back. Did you know that? And the minute you do that, you then go, now what can I do about this problem? What can I do about this problem? An entrepreneur, a spiritual entrepreneur, brings spirit in. And the next step that an entrepreneur does is it takes action. Now here's the tricky thing. When we're in a state of overwhelm, the things about what can I do about it don't come through so clearly. It's still a bit muddy, it's still a bit grey and a bit cloudy up there, right? Because you're a bit stressed, you're worried, you can't quite get it. Give permission for the solution to your problem to present itself automatically. A moment in time arrives where God literally comes into your head and goes, really? You worried about snow? Really? And you can only hear this really reeling in your head so many times before it bores the pants off you. So I started getting bored by hearing my resistance, my no's. I was getting bored with it, and I thought, oh, really, I have to see this movie and hear this movie and hear this voice in my head all the time. Boredom set in. And I started being bored. That is my alarm bell, that I'm not on track with my soul's purpose. And since I made the decision, everything that I have feared that wouldn't be able to manifest has manifested. Faith is an amazing tool to re-energize those dead bits of your life, that bored bits of your life. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your faith. Is the more resistance my body shows up with, the more my body wants to go, no, 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 the bigger the opportunity to change my life and to have a global impact on people. So I'm riding back from this meeting in this taxi. I don't do undergrounds, I like taxis. And I'm checking out all the sites in London. I'm still a tourist after all these years here. Like, checking out all the sites and the big wheel and Trafalgar Square, and the taxi driver's driving me around, and it's cool. And I drive past this window and it had these huge big letters in it. Change the world. Now I went, well, where did that come from? And I looked back and it wasn't there. There was these big letters, change the world. Thursday night, I was given this gift by, I ran a weekly spiritual development group at my home. And these beautiful souls took me out for dinner to say thank you for the work. Because I'd stopped doing it because I'm really getting involved with Source TV and having to do the filming, and I've had to stop quite a bit of my commitments. Global. The word inscribed on here, global, peace. And I went, this global change the world message keeps coming at me. And what does my body do with that? It melts down. It literally melts down. My body went into complete and utter resistance. So what do I do about it? What do I do about it? Get help. Keep bringing it. You go back to the beginning. Yes, you're quite right, darling. You go right to the beginning. Breathe, I am in. Breathe, I am in. But go and get help as well. And for me, it's color therapy. So I pour a bath, pour a bottle in, put my body in it, sit in it for 20 minutes, pull the plug, done. They change your energy field. And they take the fear out of your body at a DNA level. You rub them on your body, sit in it in the bath and soak in it, or you can spray them. And each bottle, and I also wrote a pack of cards that gives you the psychology and the meanings behind colors. If you're drawn to a certain color right now, chances are that's where your block is to being an entrepreneur and getting a solution to your problem. Pick a card, it will tell you what your solution, what the problem is that you need to work through, and the color you can use to process yourself through it. They're on sale at my table up front. My website, moirabush.com, has loads of free content on it. There's a free angel card reading, free meditations, free videos. You really can dig into it and get a sense of what color and how it will help you. You all okay? There you go. What are we going to do? Yes. And? Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.